Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to be doing pack 7 of the Agora Models release. I build the Porsche 917kh. Now in pack 7 we're going to be doing a lot to do with the frame, putting the frame on, and our vehicle is now going to have 4 wheels, and you're about to see that. Now if you like what you're seeing, you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So as you can see here, pack 7 starts with stage 46 here. So let's get this out. In this stage, we're going to assemble the engine oil recovery tank, transmission line and bonnet lift arm. So the first 2 parts we need are all part of the engine oil recovery tank, which look just like this. We're going to be putting these together. I'm going to follow the colours here, but these larger sections here are going towards the inside. So that's going to make one unit just like that. It's going to be held in with AP screws. Now all the screws for this stage are in this pack. And it's just a case of screwing 2 screws into this piece here. So that's 1 and just 1 in the other side. Like that. Now we do have a metal strut which looks like that. We're going to be putting the tank in this side here. So if this is facing upwards, the tank is actually going to be going into this side just here. So lining that up just like that. Once again, held in with AP screws. And one on the other side, because we're working with a lot of black parts. I've actually turned the main light on in the workshop. Hopefully that might be a little bit better to see. But that looks like that. Now I am going to just put a little bit of glue just on this pad here. It's because I need to put a pipe just onto this nipple here. So I'm putting a little bit of glue on there, because on this build you don't want pipes going out. There's so many on this build, so I am going to secure this into this nipple just with a bit of glue like that. We can put that to one side, because now we're going to be doing the transmission cooling line, which has got 2 parts. This one here first, and we've got a tiny support bracket which is going to go into here. Now if you can see here, we have got a little hole just in the middle where this is going to go onto, like that. Hopefully you can see that. Held in again with an AP screw, so I'll put this in. We want to make sure that fits perfectly in there in the little slot that we've got. Put my hand behind it actually, better you can see. And then I'm going to be putting these 2 pipes together, so just like this, together like that, and again AP screws in those 2 holes to hold this together. So one there, and just one on the other side. Now the outlet to the pipe looks like this little trumpet here. We're just going to push that into the end. Again, put that to one side. So we've created 2 parts now, 1 more part to create. And that's the bonnet lift arm. Again, all these parts here are metal. And then we've got the other side of that. It's going to go over the top here. So we've got 1 whole piece held in with a KM screw. Now this is a flange screw. And that's just going to hold these 2 parts together. You do want it to be able to move, but have some friction to keep it into place. So I'm just going to make that a tiny bit tighter. There you go. So it can hold itself up. And then last but not least, we do have a little bracket here, which we're going to be putting into this end. And it's going in that way. So it's facing towards the main part that we just put in here first. And again, KM screw to hold that into place. Perfect. And that means we've done 3 parts in this stage. But that is all there is to do in this stage. So as you can see, stage 47, massive bit of frame that we're going to be putting together now. Now to start this stage, we're going to need the main bit of frame, and we had these 2 parts of frame which came in stage 45. We also need some AM screws. So I'm going to get these out ready. Now I've got the left stand, which looks just like this here. That's going to be going into the hole that we can just see there. So we're taking this end, and that's going to go in just like this. And it's going to be held in on the top with an AM screw. Now all of these parts are going into metal. I'm just going to gently line this up. Excellent. So that's one piece in. Going to do exactly the same on the other side for the right hand side. And again, using an AM screw to get that in. So that looks just like that. Now these are free to turn, as you can see, because I'm not sure what position they're actually going in yet. So I'm now going to be putting in the arm that we made last time, and I've already put a KM screw in the top. It's actually just going to go on this side onto this point just here. So if I put it in through the smaller triangle, so it's over the top, and then I'm going to screw that in. And there we go. That's in place perfectly. They're just saying check that you can open it and close it, no problems at all, which we can. Happy there. This time we're going to be bringing up two front lower struts, and I have got some clips to go in the end of them. These are going to be held in with AM screws. Now it's hard to see these two ends, but you want the ones that look a bit more square than the ones at the top here, if you can see. So I'm putting them into these ends just here. They actually have a smaller hole as well, so when I put these in, it should kind of look like this. Get that all the way in. There we go. That's in place there. Do the same on the other one. There you go. That's both of those complete. I was going to put that to one side because we need to correct something now. And basically, I'm interested in this wheel on this side of the car. I've turned the car over and you see I've got a DM screw into this position. Let me just turn the tyres just here. I need to take this DM screw out of here. Now we're going to be replacing that with an EM screw and also one of these little U-shaped brackets here. Now the EM screw is going to go into the shorter side of the bracket, just like that, but then this screw is going to go into the opposite side that the last one was in. So whereas we took this one out from this side, I'm going to be putting the EM screw in from this side here. Now I have turned this round because I'm right-handed, you see, so it'll give me the maximum amount of grip on this to get this screw all the way through. The bracket we just put in, we want to be facing upright, so I'm just going to take that round so it's upright here. There we go. So then when I tighten this in, it's going to stay in that position. Just like that there. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other wheel. And there you go. They're both in, just into those positions there. Now these struts are going to be going in either side, just here. And one just on this side here. And then the other side of this is going to be going into the bracket that we just put in. Now, on the bracket, it's going to be held in with an AM screw from the underside there. And from this side here, it's going to be held in with a CM screw. So I'll get these in now. There we go. Perfect. So we've got one in there, and I'm just going to do the other side. So there you go. When they're in, they should look just like that. So we're looking at the back of the car now, and I'm going to be pulling out the two brake discs that are going on the rear. These were from stage 44, and we're just going to put these just on the back of the car here. So that's one, and one in this side. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So we've now got stage 48 here. This is going to be attaching the left tripod bar and the left tail lights. So we've got one of the lights in here. Bringing over the frame that we were working on previously here. The First one we're going to be putting on is going to be going on this side here. So as you can see, we've got 3 holes here. This is where this is going to go. 1, 2 and 3, and it's going to sit on just like that. This section here doesn't go over that pin, it goes just to the side of it, just like that there. It's going to be held in with AM screws. Now those screws are coming in from the other side. So let's get these in. I'm just putting them in loosely just to hold them into position. And there you go. That's in looking like that. I'm just going to prepare the lens now. So we have got the lens case looking like this. I'm going to put the lens in so that the amber side here is facing towards this edge here. Of course, for me, I'm colourblind, so I've just flipped it so it's in the right way. To keep that in, we're going to be putting the reflector in. This is the reflector here. That's just going to go in with the silver side facing down over the top like that. That's held in with an AP screw. And I'm going to put this on this side of the rear of the frame that we're making. So all of the bits we're putting on are facing down. So this is going to be going on here just like that there. That's held in with AM screws. That's one. Get one in the other side, and I'm just going to tighten these up. This one does require my super duper screwdriver to get this all the way in. PH1 screwdriver, in other words. There we go. And that's the light in place like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now stage 49 is pretty much exactly the same as what we've done, but we do have some sticky pads in this one, as you can see here. So exactly like we did last time, I'm going to be putting this frame here over these holes there, there and there, and they're going to be held in with AM screws. And again, best just to put them in loosely until you've got them all engaged, then tighten them up. So there you go. That looks like that. Just like last time, I'm just going to create the lights now. So again, I'm just going to struggle and figure out which one's the amber light. I believe that one there is the amber light, pointing towards this edge here. Put the reflector in, just like last time. So the silver side facing down. Hold that in just with an AP screw. And then just like we've done for this one here, this one's going to go on this side, held in with AM screws. Now we need this part that we created at the start of this pack and this part that we created at the last pack. Now the first cooling line is going to be going into this point just here from the underside. So this is going in just like that. And that's going to be held in, move that out of the way, with an AP screw. Now the other one here, again, it's got a little catch, going to be held on the other side, just into this hole here. And again, an AP screw to keep that into place. And that's both of those in, looking like that. Put that to one side and bring over the car here, because I'm about to put in the oil recovery tank. Now if you have a look, move the cameras around a little bit, move that wire. We've got actually 3 holes at the back here. It's this hole here that I'm going to be putting the next stage in. This is just going to go into this hole like that there. Now it's just sitting there at the moment. It will go in eventually, but what I want to do is take this pipe and I'm going to be routing this under this cross beam here. Just move my camera a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. Get my tweezers out here. So it comes out the other side. Just like that. And it's going to go onto the nipple on the side of the gearbox housing by the look of it. This nipple just here. Hopefully you can see that there. I've just actually realised that this needs to be going that way round. So the nipple on the tank needs to be facing up. So I'll get that in that hole there. The reason why it's important how we line this up now is because I'm about to put this massive frame on top. And basically this goes into the 2 holes that we've got in the back, and then we're lining up everything, including the pins that we've got on this cross beam here. So we need to make sure they're in, and the pin that we've got at the top of this reservoir here as well. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to get this top on, and before I put the screws in, I'll make sure everything's lined up. So the first screws I'm going to put in are going to be in here, and these are AM screws. I am making sure that the back area is lined up to where I need it. Get these in. So that's 1 and 2. In the ends here, where these poles go in, we're going to be putting some AM screws. So I've just spun that round, and I'll get these in the ends here. Now I'm going to make sure that this cross beam is engaged, because I've got to put some screws into here as well. So that looks good. I'm actually putting AM screws just into this section here. Make sure that this oil reservoir is in place to where it needs to be. Okay, so that's in. So we've now got these 2 in, these 2 in. This has been engaged in that. The cross beams have been engaged into this middle section. I've got 2 AMs to go into this point just here. So I get these in. AM screws just into these points here. Excellent. Then finally turn it upside down. And just at these back points by the light, I'm going to be putting a couple of BM screws. What I'm doing now is I'm just going to unravel the rear lights, and I'm going to be plugging these into the back of the reflectors. So one this side. I'm going to use my tweezers here to help push these in. Perfect. And just one on the other side. Following pretty much the route that this one's just been following. And again, into the back of the reflector. So that's the rear lights in. And now they want me to use some of this tape here just to wrap around these top sections here to stop that lead being pulled. Basically, you're just keeping the wires out of the way, so how you route them, I guess, is up to you. But they do want it hooked that way, but as I've got mine coming down the engine, I think I'm going to leave it just like that. But that was quite a difficult stage, but as you can see, that's now attached to the car, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So that brings us on to stage 50, and as you can see here, we've got one of the tyres. We also have this cross brace here. Now we're going to be putting this into the engine bay, so this is what the engine bay is looking like here. Quite simply, it's just going to go from one side over to the other side like that. Now that's held in with these IM screws here. That's one side, and I'll just do the other side. Excellent. And that is a very quick stage, because that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 51, we've got the rims for that tyre that we had in the last stage. And quite simply, we're going to be putting the rim in with the edge that's got the deepest tread. So just turn it over. That one's quite shallow. This one's deep. So this one's going to go in there just like this. Make sure that goes all the way in to the other side. And this one is going to be going in this side. But I am going to need some hot water just to loosen that up, because it is still quite hard to get in. Now you've seen me do this loads of times on the channel. So what I'm going to do is just take the tyre, put that in there. Because it's such a big tyre, I'm going to have to do a little bit that side and then turn it over and do the other side. So that should be good. Just going to push one side in here like that, turn it over, line up the holes on this side and push the other side in here. See, nice and simple when you've got water. Now holding all these together with BM screws, which I've got here. So get these secured in. Takes 3 of them. Bring the car over now. And as you can see in here, we have got a little notch, which is going to go into the brake disc notch. So if I put this on its side, you can look on the top camera, you can see that notch there. I'm going to line this up. So if I have that pointing that direction, you should be able to put this on. You know you've got it right because it should fit all the way in there like that. What I'm going to do then is I've got a washer, which I'm going to gently get into the hole here. That's in. And an MM screw which comes in this pack, and screw this in as tight as I can possibly get it. So I am using my bigger screwdriver for this. And then once that's all in, just going to get this hub that comes in this stage, push that in. There we go, that's another tyre on, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Now stage 52 is almost a mirror of what we've just done. We've got a tyre that I don't do anything with, so I may as well just put that in my hot water ready. But I have got another crossbeam. And this time, this crossbeam is just going between the 2 points here and here. So just making sure I've got this lined up correctly. Just like that. And then once again, that's held in with IM screws. So that is all there is to do in that stage. Stage 53, we're going to be doing the next rims and putting a tyre on. So I have had the rims soaking for quite a while. Get my little bit of tea towel up here. Make sure I've got the right side. So it's this side I want. And I'm going to be taking the larger of the rim, the metal part, that's going in there like this. Turn it over and then line up the other metal part, which is going in this side here. And just push that in. Perfect. Once again, they're held together with 3 BM screws. And there we go. That's another wheel done. So, put that on the floor. We're just going to put the last wheel in place here once again. I'll have that straight up, match off the lug there, in here, so it fits all the way down, the washer in there, and then an MM screw to make that nice and tight, and then we just put the hubcap in, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So we've got both cross beams on, now we've got the rear tyres on as well. Now, even though I've just put that tyre on, there is one thing that they want me to change out on this. And basically, it's all to do with this back section here. If I point to it, just this silver part here. Now, it is easier to get to with the tyre off. So they say do this with the tyre off. Obviously, I didn't. So I'm doing it now to make things difficult for myself. And basically, what we're doing is we're actually swapping this piece out here with this piece looking just like that. It looks a lot different actually. To be perfectly honest with you, I did that with tweezers without taking the tyre off. So it's all good, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the final stage here of this pack, what a massive amount to do in this pack. This has taken well over 2 hours to do this for me. Just going to get these last bits out. I've got the firewall here, and I've got 2 little cables. And what I'm going to do is on this side just here, I'm going to feed these cables through the holes just here. So they're going to go in like this and like this, a red and a blue. Probably best to put them in together, just so they come out the other side. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with my tweezers together to feed them in the other side. So that looks just like that. I've got a box to put over the top of this now, which is just going into the top here. So it looks like those cables are now going into the box like that. Very clever. And all we want to do is just cut down these cables on this side here. So I'm using my sprue cutters just to cut the tops off there and there. So now they're sitting nice and flush. Now if you want no danger of them falling out, I can't see any harm in just dropping a little bit of CA glue just into this hole. Now on this side here, we've got some tubular frame to put in, and we've got some tubular frames going in the left side and the right side. So basically the right side one is just going into these 3 holes here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to push that in just like that. The left side one's going to mirror that on the other side. 1, 2, and 3. So now they're both in, looking just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go. I do absolutely love this build. Now listen, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link to the Agora Models website just down there. You can actually get this all for yourself. Now while you're over there, Agora Models have got a plethora of things coming in 2023. You've got the Season 1 Optimus Prime. That's coming around about March time. You've got the Corvette Stingray. And then around about June going into the summer, you've got the start of the James Bond 1/8 vehicle collection. Oh my God, just check that out on the Agora Models website. You're going to absolutely love it. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.